Japan Life Ties. I'm here with the amazing Baye McNeil, the successful author and writer in Japan. So we're going to start off with him introducing a few things of what he does here in Japan.
Hello everyone. I'm a writer and a teacher, lecturer, columnist, author, all that good stuff.
Mr. Baye McNeil is also known as being Loco, right?
Loco.
And his book, Hi, My Name is Loco and I'm a Racist, has been rated in top 5 by Expat Finder and also top 10 for top African American books in the US, right? It's amazing. Your blog and your writing talks a lot about your experiences here in Japan, but overall, how are you liking it? How long have you been here for?
I've been here 10 years, it'll be 11 in April, and I love it. I love Japan. Yeah, it's a great country, great people, great atmosphere, very safe, very clean, very, laid back for the most part. It connects for a better environment.
I agree, I totally agree.
Well, I could ask for a better environment, but I'm not.
You can, I wanted this to be completely honest.
Okay, well, yeah, of course, it has its issues.
Okay.
But for the most part, there's no place in the world you're going to go that doesn't have any issues.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's how I see it. I went back home to New York, there will be issues. So, yeah, I can't escape issues.
Why did you choose to come to Japan?
I'm kind of a fluke. My friend was living here already, and he invited me to come stay with him for a few weeks, and I came, and this was after 9/11 in New York, so maybe I was suffering from some post-traumatic stress disorder or something. So anyway, I needed to escape, and he invited me to come stay with him for 10 days. So I stayed with him, and I don't know, 10 days in Japan. I think anybody who came here for 10 days will never go back.
Oh, really? So
it only takes 10 days for Japan to get its hooks in you, that's for sure.
So after you were already here, you decided to stay?
No, after I came to visit, and at that point I decided I could do this. And I went home and found a job here, working for a company that's actually defunct now. It was called Nova.
Oh, Nova! I heard about Nova.
Yeah,
okay.
so I used to work for Nova, and they have an office in New York where they hire. So I went to that office and got a job there. 6 months later, I was back here to live.
Oh wow, 6 months later. That's pretty quick.
It was very quick turnaround.
How did your family and friends react to you wanting to move to Japan?
It varied. Some were, very supportive and happy for me. Others were like, "We're gonna miss you, and you're bailing out, and you're, so what you gonna do?"
Yeah, exactly.
People gotta live their lives, And sometimes of course I miss my friends. I miss my friends more than I miss New York, but we stay in contact on Facebook and Twitter, and I try to get home at least once a year, once every other year. So, we get to spend some quality time together. But some of my friendships have suffered as a result of my coming here and staying here so long. If I had, my original plan was not to stay here for 10 years.
Yeah.
My original plan was to stay here for a year or so, and get Bush out of my system and then go back home. But, it didn't work out that way, 1 year turned to 3, turned to 5, now here we are. So, and over that process, people who were awaiting my return stopped awaiting.
Oh, I see.
And then, went on with their lives as we all have to do. So.
Yeah, such is life.
Such is life.
What advice would you give those wanting to follow in your footsteps of traveling and writing?
Well, for the traveling part, just don't worry so much. I guess it depends on where you go. I'm a world traveler. I've only been to a handful of countries, but I think the thing I was worried most about when I came to Japan was whether I'd be able to adapt to the cultural changes, and I have, so if that's your concern, don't worry, it'll happen, whether you like it or not. You're gonna make some adaptations, that's just human nature. You're gonna adapt, and if you can't adapt, you can always go to another country.
Ah, touche.
Yeah.
It's very true, actually.
So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. Language, in a country like Japan where people are very friendly to English speakers, it's very English friendly here, but I would recommend you learn a language, of course, if you're going to be here. But it is a very, very English-friendly country, especially in Tokyo here, in a major city. So I wouldn't sweat it so much if Japan is your choice. But yeah, definitely wherever you go, try to pick up the language if you can.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. And as far as writing, you can start now. You can just practice like everything else, like music, like painting, like any other kind of art form. You need to practice it and read. Reading is as important as practicing your writing. So read as much as you can. Read authors that you dig. Write authors that you admire. Authors who tell stories that really move you. Read them. Imitate them. And then eventually you'll be able to, find your own voice, find your own style and do something.
Thank you very much. I totally agree with that. Where do you see Loco in the upcoming years? Do you see more books coming or?
Well, finally, because a lot of the readers have asked me, why haven't you gotten this book translated into Japanese? So finally, this year or next, the book will be finally translated into Japanese, and that's going to give it a whole new life, because now it's going to be available to a market of 200, 300 million. The Kickstarter campaign will be coming up soon, so please support the Kickstarter campaign. Help me get the money, raise the money to translate this thing into Japanese with a professional translator, as opposed to, my friends doing it. I want to get a professional translator, and they're very expensive, so I'm going to need some money to get that done. So anyway, that's what's working. That's what's happening with Loco.
Okay, and I will post a link to the Kickstarter down below in the description box. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Check out the Japan Times column. My name of my column is Black Eye. It's once a month, every third Monday. So meaning 21st will be the next copy. The next column will be 21st September. And I got an upcoming column upcoming cover story for Metropolis magazine. That'll be on the 18th, featuring Ariana Miyamoto. So check it out. And let's see what else I got coming up. Oh, I'll be doing a presentation in Yokohama. So I'm sure there'll be some links at the bottom. Follow the links to my website, BayeMcNeil.com, and you can check out the instructions or the directions to this particular speech I'm going to be giving. So that's about it right now.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining me. It was a pleasure meeting you the other day at the YouTube party.
And good luck with you. yeah, that was nice. Was that fun?
Yeah, that was so much fun.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
I go every year, and it's getting better and better and better and bigger and bigger every year. So I think next year that venue is not going to be big enough.
No, it was too small.
Yeah, it was already too tight. Lines getting in the door, but I mean, it was great.
Thank you for joining us today, and don't forget to look in the description box for a link to Baye McNeil's webpage and his Kickstarter, and a few links to the Japan Times articles that he has written. Okay, bye! See you! What advice would you give those wanting to follow in your What advice would you give those wanting to follow in your footsteps? I can't say footsteps. Footsteps, yeah, footsteps, that's why. My brain's just like, no, that's not it. What advice would you give